Okay, good afternoon. We'll call a meeting to order. First item on our agenda is the approval of minutes from the August 31st meeting. Those were sent out. Everyone had an opportunity to review them and make any modifications if necessary. So I'll entertain a motion to approve. Okay. Motion's moved and seconded. All in favor? Aye. Motion is approved. Next item on the agenda is new business. It's position assistant information technology manager presented by IT manager Lori Cliff. So I'll turn it over to you, Lori.
So I'm asking to create an assistant manager position to aid in the, I guess, the transition. I'm planning on retiring in 18 months. Oh, good. Finally.
It's fun.
And we need to have a position in the department that will help in the transition for continuity of the department. So an assistant manager who can really run the department and get some management experience prior to either he taking my job or finding someone else. But you need someone else with management experience and capabilities in the office.
This is more of a hypothetical, but is there an expectation that this person would probably move up then after gaining the experience?
That is my
From the
expectation.
there, I was learning how to navigate all of this, which is complex, obviously.
Right.
And then would you keep the position after, or that is something you would consider at the time?
That would be
The
his-
successors.
the successor's call, but my recommendation is you would get rid of the assistant director position once you fill the director position. Right.
Are there any additional questions or comments for Lori at this time?
No.
Well, you know what, I have to say is that, you know, it's great you're being proactive because a lot of times whether it be in private sector or in government, when you have a key position like this, that's, you know, very technical and there's a level of expertise, sometimes the person just says, I'm going to retire, and there's just no plan in place. You're hoping that the new person coming in can just jump right in. And, you know, in some positions you can do that, others it's highly unlikely.
Right.
So I give you credit. I mean, so it's really to the advantage of your department, but also of the city as a whole, that this is, you know, that they're planning this out. So it's kind of a seamless transition.
I know this is when I'm gone.
She wants to make her phone number like unlisted. So keep it unlisted.
Correct. I would like a smooth transition, so the department just keeps running and city hall just keeps running.
So let's make it a personal question. How many years would you have in total?
I have 35 right now.
Wow. All with the city?
All over the city. Yeah.
Wow,
Wow.
good for you.
You're gonna get a big plaque, right?
You can, Lori can write a book when she leaves. Because, so what was the first marriage you started with? All right, very good. Any additional questions or comments for Lauren? Okay, I'll entertain a motion.
I'll second it. Right.
Motion is made and seconded, all in favor? Aye.
Thank you very much.
Motion's approved.
Good luck. And good luck if we don't see you.
I'll be back, I'm sure.
Good luck.
I bet you, do they have someone in mind?
No, I don't know if they do or not. I think they're gonna post it.
Oh, it's gonna
They
be.
don't even have those.
I know.
No, yeah. Well, those, you know, I mean,
Formalities.
when you post it, I mean, a job with that technical, you're not gonna get a lot of applicants. It's just very technical.
Mhm.
It's just very technical.
Up against Lockheed Martin, so.
Yeah. Our next item on the agenda is revisiting the administrative support specialist that was proposed by the joint sewage treatment plant. So I guess, Ed, I'll ask you, there was a presentation at our last meeting.
Right.
We got a new job description. Are there some modifications that you want to bring to our attention? From, or any changes from the first?
I guess you're talking about the yellow highlighted one.
Yeah,
There's some wording, changes, but these changes actually were made before the last meeting,
Okay.
but because of the open meetings law, they didn't get down to
right.
the civil service office in time, so.
So in other words, so there's nothing, the job description has not essentially changed since the last meeting.
Now, the important thing is that there was, some items that had to do with work that's not done at the sewage plant, because under the intermunicipal agreement, as I believe you all know, there's an intermunicipal agreement between the city and the village of Johnson City that sets forth how the joint sewage project is run. There's a fiscal officer who's the city comptroller,
Right.
and there's a number of financial steps, procedures that are done by the fiscal officer, and it's only the fiscal officer that does that. You know, if he wants help from the board or plant staff, we're happy to, you know, work with him. But, you know, it's generally something that's done on the city's computer system that we don't have access to.
Right.
Even as an employee for the city now, I don't have access to that. That's Chinese, I'm Chinese walled out of that,
Right.
you know, and as well it should be. Security.
Right.
So, you know, that's the items that might have been crossed out. There's some refinements in the language that are highlighted to make this job description consistent with some of the other job descriptions of the plant, to emphasize the mathematical aspect of the work, and to provide does related work as required and providing support to others at the plant, you know, so that this person backs up other people too.
And just to be clear, the highlighted and the track crossouts on there was to reflect the difference between what was originally circulated to the board that Monday and then what was circulated to the board that Wednesday.
Right.
There's an additional document with regards to the administrative assistant position, which this is planting that contains Ms. Goodson's highlights to reflect what duties are remaining with they would be doing transfer to the confidential secretary and which ones are going to this new position.
Right, this is, and what she's talking about, you're talking about this,
Correct.
Yeah.
she's talking about the markup on the current account clerk job description that shows, you know, where the coverage is going to come from, assuming that you approve the exchange. And, again, the first one on the list has to do with work that's done by the fiscal officer, so it's not, even though it was in the job description originally, it's not work that's done in your plan. And then work that says account clerk, that's going to go with the administrative support assistant. Work where you see Michelle or you just see Michelle, that is not confidential secretary, that work. You know, assuming that this position is approved and it's a management position, some of that may go to the administrative support in relation to the payroll and employee benefits. One of the questions we were asked to confirm for you at this meeting was as to the notice to the union CSEA. And I can report to you that I've been told, I wasn't involved in this conversation, but I've been told that the union president, Brian Whitbeck at the plant, has been informed of this position. Under the collective bargaining agreement between the board and the union, we have an exceptionally strong management rights clause that I'm proud of. You know, we do as the board have the right to do this. We want to work collaboratively with the union, so we're making them aware of that. But that's a decision that we're making. They haven't objected to it. They know full well that one of the benefits of this new position will be to have some additional management work time, work effort that will assist in keeping up to date their accruals for sick time, vacation time, and other purposes. That right now, the outsourced payroll service company doesn't do that very well. It's not part of their system. They don't have access to the time clock at the plant as far as the hours in and hours out when somebody goes out on a doctor's appointment, for example. And you know, we're working to make the system better. You know, and that's the spirit in which is the proposal. They make it more robust.
Do you still have a time clock over there?
This is a digital time clock that actually takes your fingerprint when you go in there, you know, so that you can't have somebody punching in for somebody else.
Wow.
Let's say, I don't want to go there. There was another question that was asked about compensation.
Ed, before you go to that,
Sure.
I just, because I want to just give full disclosure to
That's
the
fine.
board.
Yeah.
We did receive notice from a Josh Scheck at CSCI Inc. He's the. Getting the title,
I don't know.
he is the. Political Action Coordinator for CSCA Central Region 5. Is also looking at East Syracuse, that they did object and intend to file a petition to bring the title back to the bargaining unit. Not that that is part of this commission's
Right.
consideration, but just in case you didn't have that information.
I don't know if anybody from the board of the plant was copied on that or
Doesn't look like.
But a lot of this was too, because you wanted somebody that wasn't a CSEA employee to be able to do payroll, because.
Yeah.
You didn't think that somebody with a CSEA title,
Well, there's
the discretion,
concerns, and remember this is a joint board with the village of Johnson
Right,
City,
right.
you can't have the board, and the village is most definitely structured that any payroll matters or management matters. You know, not that there's a concern that people that are union people won't observe proper confidentiality, but it's a safeguard to make sure that, you know, if something happens, it's not going to be coming back against the union. It's, you know, it's management people that are responsible for this, and the confidentiality that's appropriate for the payroll benefits. You know, you're talking about health insurance, where the Health Insurance Portability and Protection Act is involved. So that's the board's thinking and determination that there should be a management position. So if the petition that Sharon mentioned comes to us, I'm sure that it'll be contested and defended against.
Okay. Is there any additional questions or comment? Did you, before Sharon mentioned about the possible PERB action, did you have something else you wanted to add?
Well, I was asked, or we were asked to talk about the compensation.
All right.
I would point out to you that under the intermunicipal agreement between the city and the village, while Civil Service Commission, yourselves under section 14, have the administrative authority and responsibility with respect to the civil service law and rules. Under section 23 of the intermunicipal agreement, any budgetary and financial matters vest with the legislative bodies of the city and the village. So that what I'm going to say here, and also under the rules, you know, that there's an SOP between the sewage board and civil service that was put together in December of 2020. You know, that says that the new or updated job description must come to Civil Service Commission before sewage board approval. And for that reason, the sewage board hasn't weighed in on the compensation, but this is what the business manager is proposing. And I'm not sure, as one board member out of 6, that I support this fully, but I'm just saying that this is what's out here. The idea would be that it would have an effective hourly rate of $20.50 an hour. If it's a management position, there's no overtime. And the standard workday is 8 hours at the sewage plant, because it's 24 operations, so there's 3 shifts at 8 hours each. And the bi-weekly earnings under that compensation would be $1,640. And the annual salary for that would be $42,640. Again, that's her proposal to the board hasn't taken that up.
Right.
So, and. Just providing the information.
No, I appreciate that. No, I mean, we understand the nuance of it, and,
Oh, you well understand.
yeah, I mean, that's a salary that you may or may not approve, but that's what's out there
That's
right
what's
now.
being requested.
Right, that's the working number, so.
And the commission, to clarify, I don't think was requesting that information to say for-time to have any jurisdiction over the budget, but it is their job to make sure that
That's their-
requests for title
I'm
changes
responding to their.
are not pre.
Yeah, well, we wouldn't, if that's not gonna be a factor, that would not be a factor in the regulation, which is more obviously, getting a sense, especially under the, umbrella of civil service. Within municipalities, what kind of salary,
Where is this in the structure?
yeah, I mean, is it within the range of what other comparable positions? If you came and said, "Well, we want to pay a person 60 grand, and we still haven't made say on it, but we might say, we got some, concerns, but-
Might
I
have
honestly can't-
implications.
Right,
And as commissioners, you can ask anything that comes to mind, and we're here to respond to your questions.
Any additional questions at this time? Anything else you want to add?
No, I think we've, between last meeting and this meeting, we've put it all out there for you.
Okay.
And thank you for giving us the time to do so.
So at this point, I'll ask, is there a motion? Again, I'll just ask the second time, is there a motion? Okay, hearing none, the board for taking no action on the approval, and then. So. It's not, essentially, it's not approved because it's in the way.
That's correct. So from a process standpoint, if if the joint sewage treatment plan board wishes to renew with either revisions, listening to some of what the board comments were between today's session and last week's session, it's obviously welcome to do that. There's no prejudice in seeking to have some kind of revised NPDS or job description reviewed.
Correct me if I'm wrong, Sharon, I think to your point is that because there wasn't a motion to deny. It leaves the door open for them to rework it if they so choose.
Yeah.
Any other new business do we have at this point?
No, our next meeting is November 19th, 2022 in person. Oh,
No, October. You don't want to see us?
you guys know I'm the worst.
October what?
October 19th,
Okay,
in person, in the Office of Personnel and Safety.
okay, we'll see you in October. Need a motion to adjourn, is there a
I'll
motion?
make a motion.
All in favor? Aye. Okay, we're adjourned. Thank you, everybody.
Thank you.
Um,